Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Asha here for you. Not that you need to know. What you need to know, however, is the book that I'm going to talk about today, and that is Animal Farm by George Orwell. Now again, this is one of my all-time favorite novels, and that's not just one but two copies. One second. Two copies of this novel that I have. This is my travel edition. Well, by that I mean I carry this book around when I'm traveling. This is the hard jacket and it's slightly heavier, so this pocket edition is one that I love. Well, yeah, I am totally flaunting my copies right now because that's how badly I want you to go and grab a copy and read this book. Just before we get on with the review, can I quickly ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already? I mean, honestly, what could that cost you? George Orwell's 1984 is considered to be the greatest classic of all time. I've read that one too and I do love it. But hands down, this book is what I consider to be the greatest classic George Orwell ever wrote. In about less than 100 pages, the message that he's trying to convey here is absolutely fantastic. This book is astoundingly clever and it's got all of the reasons why you would totally love this book. It's first published in 1945 and it caused quite an uproar because it was kind of an indirect depiction of Stalin's regime in Russia. Animal Farm follows the story of all these animals who are, bred by Mr. Jones on the manor farm. One of the nights, Mr. Jones gets totally drunk and wasted, and he forgets to feed the livestock. That particular night, Major, who is a white boar, he's white, wise, he's quite old, and he calls for a meeting of all the animals on the farm. With the vision of Major and under the leadership of Napoleon, who is a pig on the farm, they decide to start this revolution. What happens essentially is they overtake Mr. Jones and the pigs start to lead all these animals. What happens eventually is the earlier slogan, which was all animals are equal, goes on to become all animals are equal, but some are just more equal than others. The pigs are shown to be so smart and so intellectual, and under their leadership all these animals are kind of helping the revolution to take shape. Core themes of this novel, which is corruption, capitalism, exploitation, inequality, start to come to the fore, to the surface, and how these animals keep getting manipulated, how power is so wrong power is so destructive in the wrong hands. In the beginning, where they decided that humans are so bad and they are totally not to be trusted, eventually it's shown that the pigs actually start dealing and battling with humans, and all these animals are left to their own means to feed and take care of themselves. So this is in a nutshell what the story is, where all these animals kind of come together to start a revolution. So they want their freedom, they want equality, but that's kind of a distant dream. As always, I'll give you 3 reasons why you should be reading this book. First one, this novel is the most cleverest piece of literature you'll come across. So this is satire, yes, but even in satire, it is so beautifully, so smartly, so cleverly written, and it is so engaging for its writing style. The humor is so relevant, and yes, there is some element of predictability there, but it doesn't kind of bore you or it doesn't take away your reading experience, but you kind of enjoy it because you see how things are turning, and a revolution might not be what you expected. So there are all the reasons here how a revolution could go wrong, and you kind of just marvel at how beautifully that has been depicted here. The second reason are all these characters. All these animals, at least some of them, especially the horses, the dogs, they are shown so tender, so innocent, so cute. And then it's the pigs who are absolutely wicked and evil. And you kind of start to relate with, these characters, their mindsets, their behavior, attitude, because we see those kind of people around us. It doesn't matter what political landscape you're in, which region, which country, where you belong, but we see those kind of things happening around us, especially with people with power. So you kind of easily relate with that kind of thing. So which is why I feel that this book is timeless in a sense, because the relevance doesn't go out of date at all. And the third thing that I want to talk about is the length of this book. This is less than 100 pages. It's a novella, and before you know, you're done reading the book. So you can actually finish reading it in one sitting. The beauty of this book is it can be read by anybody. So even somebody from school would read it and enjoy it, although they might not get the political aspect of it. But it doesn't matter, because even as a story, you would definitely love reading and enjoying it. If you are expecting too many twists in the story and stuff like that, this is not a thriller. This is just a very simple message which has been conveyed very cleverly, beautifully, and in a time when this was really not expected of people to do, which is why this book caused quite an uproar when it was published, since it was targeted right at Joseph Stalin. Those are my copies of the novel, and if you wish to purchase yours, I have shared the links in the description box below for both these editions. You can go and purchase your copy there. There's not much difference. The only thing I can say is probably the font in this one is really small. Which has a little bit bigger font, and the spacing is great here, so it looks a lot more legible. On a parting note, I would just like to add this: I am always overwhelmed when you guys write to me and ask me to review certain books. I have not forgotten them. I just need to get my hands on those novels and read them and review them for you. That's all, guys. I'll catch up with you again in my next video, probably with a new book review. Until then, be reading, be inspiring. Goodbye.